good summer overall.
And of course, there's great anticipation now.
Obviously, we have a great team, great additions. Everybody's hungry, which is important, and healthy and ready to go to work.
When you talk about your own individually, a lot of people are saying because of Steve Nash, you'll become even greater and better this year.
I look forward to play along Steve and be the receiver of some of his dishes. And he's a point guard that understands the game, facilitates a lot of things, and gets easy baskets for everyone. So I look forward to play with him.
Is there still this question in the back of your mind now as to when Dwight will come back, and if he doesn't come back at the start, you'll have to play center?
Well, we'll adjust. I think we have enough weapons, but obviously we want Dwight to be healthy. We don't want him to rush, and obviously we need him for the entire season, not for the first few games. But he wants to be back. He wants to be ready from day one, and so we'll see what he'll have to test. He's back.
Given all the player movement during the offseason, how blessed do you feel to be wearing the purple and gold again?
Very happy, very excited. This offseason wasn't certain, and I'm happy to be here, just like every single day that I've been here. So new season, new adventure, new journey, and we all understand the opportunity that we do have and how hard we need to work in order to be successful.
And based on what you have here today, this media gathering,
yeah.
Is this going to be an insane season?
Well, we'll see. We can make it insane, and it can be insane in different ways. So we just have to keep it to the direction that we want it to be. And for that, it's going to take a lot of discipline, a lot of concentration, and sacrifice. So we have to be ready for that.
Pau, what was going through your mind when the acquisitions were happening one by one? You're seeing how this thing is changing so quickly.
Obviously, I was excited to get Steve, but then I couldn't get too excited. In this business, you can't really get too excited pretty much at any time. And then I was sad to see Andrew go. This is a good friend. He's been a great teammate. But I was happy to have Dwight on board and me to remain. Like I said, I always feel privileged and lucky, but and I want to continue to be very productive and to contribute as much as I can for this team to reach its goal, which is, we all know, it's a championship.
What was it like to face Dwight? A clearer head coming into camp. I mean, last year was, the lockout, you didn't know when the season was going to start. You were involved in a trade that didn't happen.
Right.
You didn't know if you were going to be dealt to this season. You couldn't be promised anything. Now it's a whole year later. But how does it feel to just, all that's behind, the changes have been made? Are you confident?
Feels really good. Feels really good to be in the situation and not have to deal with and go through what we dealt with last season. So there's a lot going on last year. Last year is behind us, and we learned, we grew, and now we move on and we're here. So makes it a lot easier. Yes. Once you have less distractions to worry about, you can do your job better.
What part of Dwight Howard's game are you most looking forward to playing alongside?
Obviously, we understand how great he is defensively. Physically, he's a very gifted player, probably amongst the best in the league. And offensively, he's improved also. So he just needs to continue to grow, continue to have that desire of being a better player that he can be. And he'll be in great shape. We'll be in great shape.
Pau, with the offseason moves with Steve, Dwight, and the bench, how do you guys feel about where you guys stand in Oklahoma City?
So we feel good about ourselves. We understand you don't win championships on paper, and with a roster, you have to have a certain level of desire and work that you put on, and you have to want it more than anybody else, regardless of the roster. So, like I said, we feel good about what we have, and now we just have to get to work and get better as we go along.
Is there something to learn from the Miami Heat, because you might be going through the same thing that they went through when they acquired LeBron?
Oh, we'll see. Obviously, there's a lot of expectations, a lot of hype around us, and we understand that. And it's going to be, I'm sure there's going to be a certain adjusting time in our team, because we have new players that have come from other teams with maybe different roles, and we all have to gel, and so we can give the best and function as a group.
What are your expectations of yourself and your team this season?
Oh, the expectations are very high. I think if you're a competitor, if you're a winner, you demand a lot out of yourself, and I demand a lot of myself. If not, I'm not happy, and I think the team needs to also demand a lot of itself, and I think that's the mindset that we need to have in order to be successful and have the best chance.
What was it like to face Dwight as a competitor? What was it like to face him?
It's hard because it's such a big challenge for any player. He's a force. He's a player that used to get a lot of touches in Orlando, pretty much a big percentage. So you're going to have to defend every single time against them, and so it's a difficult matchup for any player.
Have you taken that sigh of relief yet? You said you weren't able to after the Nash trade, you really couldn't get too happy. Have you taken kind of a sigh of relief yet?
Yeah, like I said, I just want to focus on what do I need to do daily, to get better and be a better player and produce more and help the team more. So as long as I can do that, I'll be in better shape.
Yeah, how does Kobe and Dwight mesh? That's two kind of A personality. You're kind of smiling because you know what I'm getting at. How do they mesh?
I think they match well. Obviously, we haven't really been through enough to know that, but we'll find out soon enough. And hopefully, we understand here that we need everyone in the team to make this a successful journey and a successful season. We need to understand each other, combine each other, and do our job in the process. So it's a challenge because obviously there's a lot of big names, big players but I think we have to make it work regardless, no matter what. So we're a family now. We're a team, and like I said, we're not going to be happy unless we reach our goal, and that's the bottom line.
After last season, did that kind of give the guys that were here and through it a little bit more of an understanding of the team ethic that people have to sacrifice to win?
I mean, I think that's a principle that we all need to understand, and to win, in order to win, you have to sacrifice yourself. You have to sacrifice a lot on a daily basis to put in the work and the time, and that's what it takes. So as long as we understand that principle, that is basic, we'll be fine.
How are things different this year today as for you a year ago?
It's a different year, regardless of what happened last year. Obviously, a different feeling, different environment, circumstances. So let's always live in the present, and I try to make the best out of it, and enjoy it. You only live once, and have to make the best out of it.
Pau, you've done a couple of times facing Kobe. Pau, you've done a couple of times facing Kobe in the Olympics. What's it like being the enemy, the teammate, the enemy? How much fun do you have with that?
I have a lot of fun. I know he does too, especially when he comes up on top. Unfortunately for me, that wasn't the case, but it was pure competition at a high level, and it was good for our sport. I think it just tells you how much closer international basketball is getting to, and how powerful the U.S. continues to be. So we had fun, obviously. So I'd like to have him on my side.